My name is Michael Grass, and this is episode 22. And tonight I'm sitting here with Kevin Farrell. Kevin is a music producer and a DJ here out of Charleston, West Virginia, and he's going to be performing tonight here at Live at the Shop at 33 Ohio Avenue in Dunbar. Kevin, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Mike.
You're welcome. Welcome back, I should say.
Yeah, it's nice to be back. I'm a little bit more level-headed this time, so I'm excited.
Yeah? Well, I'm glad to have you back. You know, last time, that was like one of the first ones I'd done when I came back from my hiatus. Maybe like the second one I'd done. The first one I did with Alex, buddy right. Alex is sitting in over here on the end, and then the second one was with you, and gosh, who else was there that night? We had Nate, and then the other guy.
We had like 4 people
Mr.
there.
T from the Salt Works.
Mr. T, yeah, we talked about their salt, and we talked about the Himalayan honey, I think is what it was. The psychedelic honey. Interesting
conversations to have.
Yeah, absolutely.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah, for sure.
So now you're back here. This isn't your first time playing here, though.
It's my
third time. Okay. So when was the first time you played? Was that like last year?
No, that was when we did the podcast.
Was it that
first
one?
Time,
really?
yeah.
Man, there's so much going on. So then the second time was the rave before Christmas, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, and that was super fun too. It seems more people keep coming out every single time, which is great to see. Charleston's needed it really bad. There's a lot of people that like it. It's just nobody's been putting it on.
Right.
So now that this is here and it's a safe space, like everybody's following all the laws, so like it's perfect.
Right.
'Cause it's all about the music. Which we need. So I'm super happy this is here and happy to be here.
Yeah, definitely.
Very grateful.
And as I don't know, maybe the people that are watching or listening, I don't know if I'm sure they could probably hear it in the background, but it's jamming right now. Yeah, we got DJ Court's on stage right now, and she's really lighting up the stage. So
she's amazing at what she does too. Man.
Yeah, she's really good, and she's a new artist, I should say. She's only been doing this for a little bit of time now, right?
As far as I know, she's like DJ'd for a long time, and then she took a break. Like I think she picked it up in college.
Yeah, at WVU.
Yeah. I think she said, she told me at least, and I could be wrong, but I think she was like, I don't want to say a number, but she's been doing it for a little bit, and then she took a break.
Right.
And she's killing it now, and so like I'm happy that she has a different, like she doesn't play the same stuff that I play. It's a different genre, but it's EDM, and that alone is a step million miles in the right direction. And we used to have something really big here in Awesome, so to see it coming back and its new revamped style, it's like getting a reboot with all the money in Hollywood. Right. So like it's really nice.
Yeah, because I mean, like back, I don't know, like pre 2020 sort of thing, after everything shut down. I mean, you could go to the Empty Glass and see an electronic show, or even what's the Blue Parrot over on Capitol Street, and that happened frequently. But it's things have kind of simmered down downtown, I should say.
It's a matter of people that do it around here. Like if nobody plays this style of music, then obviously there won't be any shows. And oddly enough, I think it was Larry that reached out to me about it in the first place, just because he was like, I know this is needed, and he just put me on. And ever since then, it's just been a lot of shows. Courtney's one of them. I think she has she's trying to build some residencies to where she plays monthly, which is great.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, people need it, and the longer that they, just go about their daily lives and keep the routine, eventually they're going to get tired of stuff, and they need a way to express themselves. Some people like this, and if there isn't this there, then they'll hate whatever it is that they're going through. So it's perfect for all ages.
Like man, I want to take it in a dark direction real quick, but imagine living in like a small town in West Virginia that you didn't have anything to do except do drugs on the weekends or something. And this is very true, like not having somewhere to go to express yourself or to enjoy yourself, having live music or entertainment or something like that, and just sitting around and not doing anything good for yourself, essentially.
If you spin your tires in the mud, you're just gonna get dirty.
Yeah, that's a very good analogy.
I learned that here, and it's funny that you say the small town thing, because I lived in Grand Forks, North Dakota before I moved here when I was still in high school, but my graduating class had 50 people tops, and that's before people flunked out, so it was 20 when they graduated. But the concept that you're talking about, me and my friends have this thing called small town blues, and that is where, just like you said, there's nothing to do, everybody's in their business, and it's just it seems like you can't escape and everything, and that is just an irritation that adds on to I need an outlet to be myself. So this is where it's at.
And it's a cool spot, and of course Larry Dorsey, he's put a lot into it, and put a lot back in it not only, I mean, for the musicians, but for the community itself. You know?
Community more than anything.
Yeah, you know. And it's great to see everyone coming together here. The community of musicians and just people that are showing up regularly and just making it happen. I mean,
it's pulling people out of the woods. You know,
that's right. Yeah,
I've gotten so many messages from people I never thought in a million years coming to this event tonight, and it just blew me away. I've never even had any idea that they would react to anything of this caliber or at all.
Right.
So I'm really excited to see at the end of the night how this all plays out and just reflect back in an afterglow. It'll be really pleasant.
Yeah, that's even though I'm not performing, it's been like nerve-wracking for me as well, because I'm knowing what to expect. And like, I know it's going to be a great turnout, and there's going to be a lot of people here, and it's going to be an awesome show, and it's just the build up to it. Like we talked with Lucas out front just briefly earlier.
Yeah.
And, you know, the pre-show jitter sort of thing that you have coming up, and
you might not be performing, but you're totally just as much a part of this event as I am.
Hey, you're right. I've got a role in it, I suppose.
Yeah, man. You got Asher out here, right? Like that was you. Like, yeah, I asked him. I was like,
yeah. I got Asher out here to begin with.
Yeah, and that's how all of us know him.
Right.
And like the reason the show's happening is because he's playing here and everything. So like this is a you thing, man.
Right.
So of course I'm sure you are nervous, especially being such a part of everything that goes here. You do the on Thursdays you have that open jam session, right?
Yeah. Well, it's a bi-weekly event. They do
my bad.
No, it's okay. Like 1 week, it's a open bluegrass jam, open mic bluegrass jam.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And then like the next week, it's a jazz night.
Is that with Grant?
Yeah, with Grant Jacobs. Yeah, shout out to Grant Jacobs.
Yeah, Grant's amazing at what he does too.
Right.
And that guy's phenomenal at lots of music. Well, just a lot of things that he does. He's really good musician for sure.
We certainly have a lot of talent here in West Virginia and at Charleston at that, and I'm glad to be a part of it, I guess. And I mean, man, it humbles me telling me that, because it's just like, hey, like it's whatever, things happen, find an Asher sort of thing.
That's a big deal, man. Because Asher's doing big things. He was on I just asked him about it. He had the #1 dubstep spot on a song for a really, really long time, and just because I got the chart wrong, he was like, no, it wasn't. He's still #1, dude.
Right.
It doesn't matter. For the rest of his life, he can say, I had a #1 song on a online public forum of people voting for it or going off the plays or like everything. It's a really big deal. So that guy is doing the moves when he needs to do them. He's got a great team. He's got a great family and everything, and he has an online presence with his community. It's called Tribe of Asher, I believe.
Yeah, that's correct. Tribe of Asher.
Yeah. And everybody in there's so nice and friendly. It makes you feel at home, and he is the same way. He does the same thing for all his people, and so he's going to do really big things, and I'm really excited to see where he takes it.
Yeah, man, it's awesome to see him grow and mature, and just kind of tweak his sound. And I mean, man, I've been seeing it for probably
find it.
Yeah, because it's changed a lot from what it used to be. Sure, there's still like hard. Like, he's still got some hard, like, sounds to it, or, like, some Riddim influences. Like, a lot of it used to be Riddim. And for those of you watching that know what Riddim is, it's just a specific style of electronic music, much like dubstep or house or, I don't know, anything else.
150 BPM, wham.
Is that what it is, 150 BPM?
That or 70 or 75 or 140,
Okay, so the science behind it there a little bit, it's...
some nerd stuff.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't know any of that, but I respect it, though, and to be able to see him, really just grow over the last 4 years that I've known him, it's been really neat to see. And like you said, I can't wait to see where he goes and how this comes up, man, because it's just cool to see. It's really cool to see whenever your friends take off and do really well too.
And he really is. And he knows Greg. Greg's like a mixing mastering guy that works for Black Octopus Sound, who is in not just mine but many people's eyes like top of the line quality mixing and mastering and sound design. Just an overall great producer, like on his side, and like it doesn't mean that they like go through everything together, but he's there for Asher to like help show him ins and outs and everything, and like it's the right type of mentor you want to have. And every word that's came out of Asher's mouth since we've connected has been an echo from somebody that I would see as a pinnacle of achievement and their profession.
Right.
And so like I'm really, like I said, yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah, he mentioned that about having a mentor, and that was kind of guiding him and teaching him some things that he didn't know before. And you know, maybe that's what it takes. You got to have somebody to show you the ins and outs, or you know, kind of the tricks of the trade in essence, and that helps you become a better artist or a better producer, or, you know.
It can, for sure. I can definitely see some people getting humbled and then appreciative and, you know, narcissistic, pompous people, for sure. Yeah, they'll go through that. And I know when I went and started doing this, I thought I was the bee's knees, you know.
Really?
Yeah, and every song I've made ever is exponentially better than the one before. So every time I make a new one, I'm like, well, everything else is trash. And I go back and listen, and it's like, well, I should have did that and did that and did that and did that. I was just talking about this earlier. Yeah, like right now I'm sitting on close to 2 albums worth of songs, and I haven't released them because of that exponential factor. So I've just started releasing singles. I just released a single recently. It's called Breakthrough.
Yeah.
And it's on all major streaming platforms. And I wrote it whenever my cat passed away like a year or so ago.
What's your cat's name? What was your cat's name?
His name was Nero.
Nero, like the band Nero.
Yeah, like the artist Nero. Yeah, and
the artist.
they have that song. You are no, that's Cinema. I'm thinking of Promises.
Promises is what I was thinking of too. Yeah,
by Nero. When I DJ, I play this next week. Anyway.
Promises, and it feels so wasted on myself.
Yeah. So I don't listen to that song anymore because it makes me sad. But yes, that is the same one. But he passed away from. It was tragic. He had like 2 terminal cat diseases.
Oh man.
No cure or anything. And the doctor was like, I've never seen this happen in my 40-some years. It was one of those. But so it messed me up really bad, and. It was so bizarre, but I wrote about 4 songs. I released an EP of 3 of them.
Yeah.
When it happened, because those songs were ready, and the one that I just released wasn't ready, but it's been ready for over a year. I just thought I could go back and make it better, but I just realized I had to let go. So I released it, and I did it secretly. I didn't advertise for it. You know, my fans will listen to it.
Right.
I don't think it deserves like the huge promotion and everything. Plus, I have like 2 more albums that are getting ready to come out. Plus, this was coming up, so I was like, I just want to have something new. Even though I released the song like a month ago anyway. But yeah, so it's called Breakthrough. It's about my cat. It's on all major streaming platforms. And I have another song that is called Lily of the Soul that I'm going to be releasing soon. But right now I have a guy named Casey, who I call Casey the Fire Felon, because that's what he saved his name in my phone as. He's like a flow artist who spins fire and stuff. He's amazing and travels the country and does big things like that. He is I'm commissioning him to make me a music video to the song. I'm gonna give it to him, and he's gonna do a choreographed flow of fire to it. And Spotify allows you to put music videos up now, so I'm gonna pay the legacy fee for it and be like, you're immortalized forever, man, and just have his fire flow go to the song. And that song's like super emotional. I normally don't put lyrics in my songs, but that one has some and it fits really well together. It's future bass, which is also out of my normal like genre, because future bass is really hard to DJ. Like it's meant to hear from start to finish, and DJing is not a start to finish business.
What is future bass? So
future bass is and easy to understand would be a pretty sounding, almost like poppy-esque, like you would hear pop vocals over it, but it's 140 BPM. It could be 100 to 150 even, but like typically it's around 140 or 130. It uses major keys more than minor keys, but minor keys are still there because it's like Kevolution or bunch of artists, but it's the pretty fluttery wobble stuff that has like pretty vocals and everything, and it's more cinematic than you would hear from like what you said, Riddim, which was like wow 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 wow. Like future bass is like quiet piano, rain's happening or something. It's real dramatic, but it's very emotional more than anything, and it has this very bright tone. But
do you know who Blackwell is?
I know who Black Mill is.
Black Mill. I think that's who it is. Black Mill. Yeah. Would that be considered future? What's it called again?
Future bass.
Future bass.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, technically, that is a lot heavier. and it's more of a melodic dubstep. But in my eyes, when I first got into EDM in general, I thought black mill was future bass, and I called it future bass. And to me, like that's the same emotion. And black mill is a great, goal for any producer that wants to make future bass. If you can make something like black mill, like you're in there like Swimwear. Black mill made one album. He still doesn't, he's never played any shows, he's never made anything else for money, and he is living off of his one album from how good it is.
Wow.
Yeah, like
so,
Black Mill.
This is probably like the one that was released about 10 years ago, 2011, 2012, something like that.
It's the only one.
That's the only one. Yeah, so I found it going through the rabbit hole of YouTube about 9-10 years ago.
I'm glad you found it, because it's a gem,
it's,
man.
beautiful music. Can't tell you any of the songs anymore, but like I said, I jacked up his name whenever I was trying to say it, but it left enough of an impression that like I could think of that and put it to what you were saying at least.
Exactly.
So,
it's cinematic. It paints a scene. People get wrapped. It's emotional.
It is very emotional. Yeah.
And it's it's like one of the, we live in West Virginia, so it's like one of those country songs that everybody, like, I don't relate to that at all, but people are like, yeah, I listen to the song, it makes me tear up. Like, I know a lot of people that will listen to Black Mill and shed a tear, even though there's no words. It's that emotional just from the way he constructed the chords and the progression. It's really cool. Right. Really good stuff.
Now, off from Black Mill, obviously who Lindsey Sterling is, correct?
Yeah.
So, like, Asher and I, we were watching this video last night. It's kind of like it's like a compilation of like music and then like memes from the internet and stuff. Yeah, kind of like some Adult Swim sort of stuff in a way. Yeah, I'll send you a link for it. It's really interesting. Anyways, they showed. Oh gosh, now I done forgot her name.
Well, you said Lindsey Sterling.
Yeah, Lindsey Sterling. Yeah, it showed Lindsey Sterling in that video where she's playing her violin out in the snow.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I played violin for 12 years, so like I definitely am up to date on all the orchestra stuff. Okay. I'm a music nerd.
So we were saying how like we thought she was one of the first electronic artists that played a violin that became big.
I think she was.
Maybe she wasn't the first one that had ever done it, but certainly the first one that kind of like made a name for herself or like struck it big that people knew who she was.
Absolutely. Yeah. She's mainstream, so to speak.
Right.
She puts herself out there, has a great public presence, super friendly. I had the opportunity a long time ago to make music with her, and it didn't pan out timing-wise. But I did get to talk with her team and stuff, which was cool. And obviously, her music speaks for herself. So.
Hey, Kevin, hold on just a moment.
Yeah.
I've got I think my fiance's at the door. Hello?
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, we're at the back door or the front door? The back door. I'll have to see if I can get somebody to come let you in. Here, Johnny's going to come let you in. Okay, yeah, just a moment.
Thanks, Johnny.
All right, bye.
Guy rules, man.
Yeah, Johnny's awesome. Shout out to Johnny.
Yeah, for real.
He's my, I guess Johnny would be like my producer. He's behind the scenes. He's controlling the cameras and stuff.
Oh, he's way more than the producer, dude. He is doing everything.
He does a lot around here, yeah, more than just produce. He's
got the Wi-Fi. He's got the key to it all, man.
Right, he does the lights. He's been known to do the sound out front as well, too. And, of course, whenever there's anything generally live that's going on and we're recording it and it's, like, on YouTube or, like, Facebook Live, he's back here doing it if it's not Trey that's doing it. So, yeah, there's a lot of people, not really a lot of people, but there's a handful of people here that really are behind the scenes and make a lot happen that you don't see necessarily. So.
Oh, you guys have a huge crew. I mean, I think I've seen at least 4 or 5 different sound and security guys just in the past, like, 2 times I've been here. Like,
yeah, we've got about like a half dozen people holding it down.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that's close.
It's not very much, but still, for what we are
here right now.
Like, and I can't mention all the ones that are undercover in here. The secret security force that we got.
Secret employee.
Right.
Secret.
So let's see, Kevin. We've talked about your music. You said this is your 3rd time playing here.
Yes.
Is this your first time playing with Asher, though? How'd you meet Asher?
I met Asher when he played at the Blue Parrot, when you brought him out the first time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's been here twice, I think.
Yeah,
this
makes his 3rd time.
I've seen him both times. Because I believe at that time, that was like Tim Hoover, Mick Wiseman, Alec, DJ Mixar, who's playing later.
Right.
DJ Caveman.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
He was part of that, and DJ Caveman was actually the first DJ to believe in me. And when he retired, he had his decks, and he was like, I don't want to just hold on to them. I want to give them to somebody. And he hit me up, and he was like, I just want to give you these.
Right.
And he gave me my first set of DJ tables. They were Newmarks.
Right.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact. I still have them at the house, but yeah. And he gave me the login and everything, and that was one of the stepping stones I needed to feel like I should keep going in this way. Because I had been involved with all the community around here, but I was just producing. I wasn't DJing, and that's not the same thing. So like to perform the stuff that you create as a producer, you have to DJ, and it's its own art, and it's respectful. And it was nice to have Caveman reach out to me on his own volition and just offer it to me. It's not something that happens normally.
Right.
But yeah, I met Asher at one of those events. Mick Wiseman, I believe, was hosting it, and Asher was the headliner. Tim Hoover played, and then Caveman and Mixar were also playing at separate times. I don't remember the order exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I met Asher, and I'm not sure if I think I did meet Bianca then too.
Yeah, she was there.
Yeah, I think I did. It was definitely the Blue Parrot both times. But yeah, so I didn't really talk to him too much after that because I wasn't that serious into this, and my buddy Ducky was over at my house, and he, I was doing my producer thing, and I always invite people over to my house when I make music just so I have somebody else to say that's good, that's bad, because for me I don't know.
Right.
I'm just making it. And Ducky heard it and he was like, hey, you should talk to my buddy Asher and everything. I was like, oh yeah, I met him, and then we just reconnected, and it turns out we were both on the same page. I was a lot more knowledgeable at that point, so it would make sense for me to talk to him. And
Right.
yeah, we're just friends, dude. Like, we just like the same stuff. So like, he's a super down to earth guy, very positive forward, like just uplifting, very well versed in all of his passions. And it's just really refreshing to have somebody professional, also be cool, and doing the damn thing.
Yeah, it's good to see somebody else too, like-minded, and that's also gonna, encourage you, and just like Asher does. He's very positive and he's encouraging. And he's gonna lift you up, and make you feel good, and reestablish that, in the back of your brain that things do sound good and that it's not trash, or that's it.
As a producer, you gotta have somebody for feedback.
Right.
Otherwise, you're just gonna think something's great and it's trash. And that's happened to me a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another reason why I don't release the songs I have right now is like confidence is a big thing, and having people like Asher in your life will definitely make it a lot easier.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah.
He's a good guy, and certainly a good friend to have around, and somebody to look to, and
He's never steered me wrong.
He hasn't steered me wrong either. He's somebody that I can honestly, I could hit him up, text him, and say like, hey, could you watch this, or can I get your opinion on it? Same thing, and he'll give me a blatant, honest opinion. He won't chalk it up or sugarcoat it or anything.
He's had the run through with the feedback too, though.
Right.
Like when you ask for feedback when it comes to music, you aren't asking for uplifting stuff. You're asking for what's wrong with it, and so you get beat up hard. You have somebody just rip you apart, but you're asking for it, like literally being like, please tell me what's wrong so I can make it better.
Yeah.
And Asher, he's not rude about it. He just tells you what's wrong, and that's really comforting, the profession. 'Cause some people just won't even tell you what's wrong. They'll just slander you and be like, oh, this dude's trash, and tell a bunch of people, which is childish, but it happens.
Yeah.
He's not like that. Asher.
Right. Yeah. He's a real good guy, and you couldn't ask for somebody better.
Yeah. I do from experience. From experience.
So, man, who are you listening to these days? What artists are inspiring you right now?
Man, I'm so happy you asked this. I've been preparing for this show because I have my own set list, but again, with my confidence, I'm not 100% certain about it. So I got backup songs, and I found all kinds of artists on, my favorite artists' record labels, like Subcarbon Records or Drama Club Records. Lately, my biggest influences as artists would be Nautix and Jenga, who could both be found on both of those record labels. I think Jenga's out of Denver and Nautix is out of New York. And Nautix's low-end sounds of his bass is just, it's exactly what I'm looking for as a musician and a listener and a fan. But it's just, I haven't figured it out yet. It's mesmerizing to me, but it's really good. And I know I'm not the only one that feels that way, because I see the comments online about it. It's like, where is this low end coming from? It's crazy. I think it's just a bunch of reverb. But anyway, and then Jenga is out of Denver, and he's there with the legends. You know, he's there with like Taboo and Dirt Monkey and like all the big wigs that don't even really care about anything because they've already made it. They're like, yo, I'm just doing my thing, but they get to be free with it. But Jenga has a lot of technical skill to him. They both have a really gritty comb filter over some of their drops. Nerd stuff. I just really love producing a lot, and those guys are top notch.
Okay. I've never heard either one of them, but I'll have to go check them out and see how they sound.
I'll play them for you later.
All right, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So, like, what do you watch on TV from time to time? You watch cable, you watch Netflix, you watch YouTube?
I got almost
Hulu,
every streaming service except for Peacock, and that's because I paid for Peacock, and then I guess it's where I live or something, but it just skipped all the time, and I was like, why am I paying for this shit? And so I just canceled it, and now there's like 2 shows on there that I want to watch, but I'm not going to pay for it. But here lately, I've been watching just about everything that's popular. Like, I've been watching, I finished You already. That came out yesterday.
Actually, it's funny you say that. It slightly confused me for a moment, but I know what it is. There was a joke. There was like this guy reporter that's saying he was watching You, and the other reporter that he was talking to, like, split screen. She was like, "What do you mean you're watching me? We don't have anything about me on TV." And he's like, "No, I was watching You."
I have that conversation frequent. Well, only when I talk about this, but I've had that conversation, so it is fun because it happens.
So, what is You about?
So You is about a sociopath who is obsessive and will murder people for his obsession to protect the ones that he loves. But the ones that he loves are the people he's obsessed with, but he doesn't even know them. He's just like a sociopath. He's a serial killer that has a love issue. And there's a lot of play around the word love in the series too. And I don't want to get too far into it, but it's essentially, there's a serial killer. It's a serial killer show that it's like Dexter, but from like Dexter's superhero, I'm cleaning up the trash. This is, I'm a serial killer and I'll murder anybody that hurts what I want.
Right.
You know, anything that gets in my way sort of deal. Dexter did that as well, but it was more like, I'm doing the code for Harry. Obviously, I watch a lot of TV.
Yeah.
So, but You's super good. Highly recommend it. It's only part 1 right now. I think part 2 comes out next month. But I mean, this is good marketing on Netflix's bit, especially after they're doing the whole canceled sharing subscriptions thing, which is stupid. We'll just all go back to the
Get you up on your mic a little bit more there.
I'll go back to the Pirate Bay. You know.
The Pirate Bit. What's that?
The Pirate Bay?
The Pirate. Oh yeah, I remember what Pirate Bay is.
Don't make me say what the Pirate Bay is.
Bass music on the other side of the wall. You know?
Yeah.
Man, why do you think Hollywood likes to glamorize serial killers?
Because most of the population won't do that. It's a shade of the human existence that is eclipsed with, morals. Right. So, like, the morals will normally outshine it, but sometimes you have, like, a new moon or something, and there's nothing there, and things go through the cracks. We're all people with, our personalities, and that just so happens to be one of them. So it's fascinating, which is why they make it. Right. And would you say that that it could necessarily influence somebody to, carry out a dream or some twisted idea they've got by watching, let's say, You or Jeffrey Dahmer or something like that? I personally Dexter respect the families of the victims and their outcries for why that shouldn't be a thing. Obviously, yeah. But no, I personally do not believe the Catcher in the Rye theory. Killing John Lennon or Ronald Reagan is a normal thing that goes on. If it was, there would be more people that would do that, in my opinion, at least. So, no, I think people old enough and mentally aware enough of being allowed to watch the show, old enough, you should know the difference between this is fiction, this is a story. Obviously, some people get hyper focused. I'm not one of them. Right. But no, I don't think it's that big a deal. I love watching the shows. I want them to make more. Right. It's much like the argument that kids shouldn't play Grand Theft Auto, because there's so many bad things that happen, and it's like, well, that's ultimately. I mean, parents could make that own decision whether it's Grand Theft Auto or it's like a gory television show or something along the lines of that. I wasn't allowed to watch Harry Potter, right. Until I just went and watched anyway. But yeah, like I know what you're saying.
Right, but I guess it ultimately goes back to like morally. I guess like whenever I was a kid, I knew right from wrong. Generally, my parents taught me well. Not everybody's parents teaches them the same that mine did necessarily.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody goes differently, but like morally, you're a kid and you play Grand Theft Auto and you know you shouldn't go steal a car or like shoot up something or like kill somebody or like watch a movie or anything like that.
They were probably cool with it until they saw you playing Grand Theft Auto 3. When it was 3D and everything. Before then, it was 2D, and they were like, it's fine. It's like Frogger or something.
Right, yeah.
But, if you go to the strip club, like, your parents are probably going to wonder what you're doing.
I saw a meme recently, and there's the person with the camera was coming around the corner of this, like, living room, I suppose, and there was a little boy. They turned the camera around the corner, and there's a little boy sitting on a couch, and he's, like, got some controller in his hand, and he's playing with it, and then they pan over from the little boy to the television, and he's playing Grand Theft Auto. He's in the strip club getting a lap dance.
Oh, that's great.
And he must have been like 5 years old or something. As hilarious as that is, I would say bad parenting.
Yo, straight up.
Yeah.
Like, if that's the parenting you're talking about, my parents, I came home from school in 5th grade. My stepdad picked me up in his yellow Subaru Justy. It was like a 1970-something. If you all don't know what that is, look it up. It's a very small, frog-looking car. But it had two 12-inch subs in it, and we would bump everywhere we'd go. And that's probably where I got my love for bass. But, he took me to go pick up my brother, and he was like, so, do you know about the birds and the bees? And I was like, what is that? He was like, you know about... He made me like fish for it. I'm not going to go through them all, but like eventually I got to the point where I was like, is this what you're talking about? And he was like, yes, thank God you said it. And even at that moment, I was like, I would have been like 8 or something. He made me realize like there's a generational gap in like conversation of like, I can talk about this with people and be comfortable, but some people just can't,
Of course,
and so they get real finicky, but that's also when I learned like, I don't have to ask this guy for anything. Like, I'm figuring everything out on my own. A bad idea, but like I rolled with it from that point forward.
The birds and the bees conversation. I can't say that I don't think I ever had that conversation with my parents. I mean, my dad definitely never had the conversation with my dad.
It's such a weird time.
It's kind of a weird thing to talk with your mom about. I'm sure at like some point she would have said it, but by then I knew too much. I mean, that's
exactly
like here, for instance, I grew up. My dad had movie stores in Charleston. He had 3 of them. Okay, and in the movie stores, he had adult rooms. And as a little kid, we'd get a kick out of running back into the adult room and staring at tits on the wall. It was VHS, back then.
Kids these days, they'll never know, man.
Kids back then, I mean, but think about it, it probably wasn't but like, a decade before that I was like breastfeeding. In reality, like there's something that I don't know, like
that's normal, dude. They got
like
Google now,
right? I mean, there's this time in between like being a child and breastfeeding, and then whenever you mature enough, and then I guess you start like instead of thinking of boobs, like you don't think about like. Guys, this is such a weird conversation we're having here and it's live, but like you don't think about like sucking on your mom's boob whenever you're a baby, you know what I mean?
I don't,
you get to be old enough, right? And then you're like, oh, like titties are awesome, and then you're running back into the porn room and staring at VHS on the side of the wall.
I think that's the right age. I feel like when I probably would have did that, for sure.
So,
I definitely would have been running back.
At some point there's that transition there, I suppose. But I mean, like I guess I didn't need to know about the birds and the bees because I already guess maybe I had an understanding from running back there enough times and getting in trouble.
I lived in Colorado at the time, and they like it was part of the curriculum, and they like let all the parents know, and that's how he knew. I should have said that first, but like he just knew that I had the talk, and he was like, "Oh God, this is uncomfortable. Do you understand?" and everything. And I was like, "Obviously, you have kids, but yes, I do." And it was, putting out a fire for both of us, I guess at that point.
In 6th grade, we had a class called Growing and Being, and that was a class where you learned about the birds and the bees if your parents hadn't already told you about it, and
I just wish they had a better teacher for it, personally, but that was just a weird time in my life. I'm sure for most people, too.
Well, you know how it works now, right?
I'm figuring it out.
You don't need a teacher to show you.
I put on my shirt one leg at a time.
Well, we all put on our pants one leg at a time as well.
Is that what it's supposed to be?
I think, everybody puts their pants on one leg at a time. Just one shoe at a time. You can't put 2 shoes on at one time either.
I don't even got laces on these.
Yeah?
Yeah. In and outs.
You're lazy, bro.
No, this is like...
I'm just kidding.
I would trip all the time when I was a server over my own laces.
Really?
Yeah. And some rich guy, I tripped and I caught everything, but he just looked at me in disgust and was like, "Only poor people need to tie their laces." And I was like, "What does that have to do with anything?"
Yeah.
And it offended me. And so
Was he wearing a pair of those?
No. I actually bought these because like they were the only pair that were in my size at the store
Nikes.
when I went. Yeah. They're Air Maxes. I think they're breathable, and so like they're real thin, and my feet won't sweat and everything. And they're super comfortable.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I just slide them on off. And I lived in, like I said, in North Dakota. Everybody wore moccasins, which are like slippers.
Right.
And so for me, it's like I just want to slide my feet in and out of my comfy shoes. They have to be comfy. It's important.
Of course, yeah. You gotta, like, 3 things in life that you should have that are comfortable. You should have comfortable shoes, you should have a comfortable bed, and, geez, I don't know what the last one. I had somebody tell me that one time. There are 3 things.
When you
I
remember,
remember
let
two
me
of
know.
them. Yeah, if I remember the last one, I'll let you know. Definitely comfortable shoes and a comfortable bed to sleep in.
I'm there. I'm 2 out of 3, baby.
What's
I'm
up,
ready for
Alex?
number 3.
And look at him, give me that look over there.
He's over there wondering
Yeah,
how comfy is his shoes in bed.
Yeah, right.
The third thing you should be comfortable with is yourself.
That's a good point. Yeah,
yeah.
Third thing you should be comfortable with is yourself. I
He's
like
right.
that. Yeah, very good point there, Mr. Alex. Now I've been trying to get Alex to like come on here and be like my co-host for some time, but he's got a lot of crap going on and like can't be here regularly. You know.
Not gone forever.
Yeah, not gone forever. Who's calling me?
I mean, being desirable's kind of a goal in life.
Right.
Yeah, good job.
Right. Well, I guess you want to be desired by somebody, suppose. Like, right? Everybody wants to be desired by someone.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm not making any. Sorry, Alex. I'm not making any jokes or anything. He's like,
I don't think he was mad. Like that was.
Man, if you had another mic over there, I'd just sit and I'd bullshit with you, man.
Yeah, we had one set up earlier, but I was like, we're gonna do this one at a time, sort of thing. I mean, I could bring you on in between.
Yeah, you got like 2 other people.
Yeah, I got more people coming
Who
on.
else are you
here
bringing
soon.
on?
So after you, we're gonna cut this, and then I think we might. Well, yeah, we'll probably cut it and like go and like have drinks and stuff for a minute, and then we'll bring on Asher and talk with Asher. I should bring on Alex. Lucas the Flow said that he was interested, but he would rather do it until after his performance. So we may not. It does. I'm not really sure if we're going to be broadcasting the show live. Then maybe, yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. If we're going to broadcast the show live, I guess the end's like if anybody's going to play any music that was copyrighted, because if we play copyrighted music, somebody plays copyrighted music and then it goes over the stream.
Even what Courtney's playing right now is copyrighted music. How it works is, for everybody listening, if you, as a DJ or anybody, go online, there's a website called Beatport, and they're like the #1 place for it. There's a bunch of others too, but you pay a royalty, which the money goes to the artist. It's like $1 or something. It's real cheap, but that's how we make our money as producers. We make good songs to where other DJs want to play it, and so they buy it for $1.
Yeah.
And there's so many of us DJs that you can live off of it.
Right.
It's just you have to make the best stuff. So, yeah, I understand the worry, but I'm pretty sure you guys are okay.
Yeah, I just don't know if like the algorithm knows that though, because we'll do it and then something will flag it and be like, oh, like you're playing No Diggity, No Doubt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
So,
and algorithm-wise, again, I would put a disclaimer, but it's an algorithm, so.
Right, and algorithms are just AI, so it's.
Artificially ignorant.
Hey, what do you think about the Chat GPT?
What do I think about?
Yeah.
I think Chat GPT is so cool.
Yeah,
it's the
butchered it
future,
almost.
man.
It's the future, yeah.
You could call it Jack. I'm sure
Jack,
it wants
Chat,
a name.
whatever. Yeah.
Yours is Jack.
Jack. Yeah, it could be Jack. Sure, why not?
Yeah. Jack.
Have you seen any of this stuff about it being biased?
I actually saw an article about Chat GPT either today or yesterday where a bunch of people were betting their stock market options and their choices of what they're buying and selling based off of Chat GPT. And for like a few months, it was killing it. It made people millions of dollars. It made one wrong call and it lost like close to $1 billion of how many people were following that.
Right.
So like it's yeah, just like anything in the stock market, you got to be careful. You got to be careful, man.
Yeah. I haven't done it. I was going to sign up the other day, but it wanted me to give a phone number, and I didn't feel like giving up my phone number because I don't want to. Yeah, you got to sign in and then give a phone number to use. And I tried to use my Google Google Plus phone number. You know, it basically that's just a spam number. You type that in. Yeah. Let it sell that information all it wants to. But like, they're not going to sell my personal phone number or get my personal number. So I didn't sign up. But I'd heard some stories about it being biased towards, like, I don't know, certain, like, races or, like, certain, like, genders or, like even certain people. Like, for instance, you say, like, write a poem about being black or write a poem about being white, and it would say, like, you know, certain thing, like, oh, I can't write a poem about this specifically, blah, 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 blah. But it would say for the other one, like, it would write a poem for the other thing. Or, for instance, here's one that's like, write a poem about how bad Donald Trump is. President Donald Trump.
Is the AI
right.
the problem in that? If the
I don't
people
know.
that
It's the people that actually create the
prompts.
Yes.
So, like,
because the AI is not going to know that to be. It's all.
That's my point.
Right. It's all programmed to begin with, and then as it builds up, more kind of. I think they said, like,
I think that's
moderators
a matter of
or, like,
data
people
collection.
sort of, like, build on that and say that these things are factual and true, so that it continues to.
Right. A moderation.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
So since this has happened, like, earlier last week, apparently, like, things have changed, and it'll like write a bad, you know, poem about President Biden as well. That was the thing. It wouldn't write a poem that was bad about Biden, but it would write one bad about Donald Trump, and there's, like, some bias there.
It very well could be. You know, this is America,
right?
And so, like, there's all kinds of powers at play, but, like, you got to keep that in mind as well, that they've probably had this technology forever, you know, and they're just now rolling it out to the people, which is great. The future's here, but they also have to, like, slowly let it off of a choker leash, you know, because they were like, this is really powerful. We have to shut it up and make sure that it's filtered out. And I think they're more worried about the bigger secrets of you know, understanding things, and that's probably just a fail-safe where they're like, we want to be PC and make sure everything's kosher. And obviously what you said is not kosher. It is bias in that point, but I think that to put this in a terrible way, but I think it's true, that's just not the biggest problem they got.
Oh, of course.
So like, they're more worried about, like, secrets of stuff that's available online, but people don't know what to search for, but that can, because it is the root to everything. It's the trunk of the internet, which is insane. Like, you realize in, like, 10 years, half of the jobs in America are going to be practically obsolete or are transitioning out, and we're going to have a huge...
robots. It's cheap. There you go, Kevin. It's cheaper to pay for a robot to work at McDonald's than it is to hire somebody. Robots don't get sick. They don't have grandmas that are going in the hospital. They don't have a kid to take care of. They don't have anything.
You
they
pay
just
one
work.
maintenance man. Yeah.
Right. You pay one maintenance man. That's why they phased out. You know, McDonald's. There's new McDonald's that don't even have somebody to talk to when you order. You just go up and order off the screens, like they've been implementing into a lot of McDonald's as well. Similar technologies when you go into Sheets and you order from the screen, which we've been doing for practically probably 7 or 8 years now around here. I mean, it's getting to that point, and those jobs that pay less for individuals that, let's say, are like, you know, kids in high school or like high school graduates, somebody that maybe didn't get a degree, which I'm not shitting on anybody for that, but like,
I didn't get one.
You know, cool. I didn't get a degree either, but I certainly don't want to go work in, you know, customer service again. I've been there, done that. But those jobs are going to fade away, and they're going to be replaced, you know, by robots, by AI algorithms, by, you know, computers that can easily do that without ever having, you know, human interaction.
Yeah, I think Andrew Yang had the best, you know, model for that afterwards, which is weird to say because I wasn't for it prior to all of this advancement. But it's just happening so rapidly that all these people are being displaced, and our economy is already fluctuating rapidly. I can't imagine what will happen when the scales tip so vastly, to where if you don't have a source of GBI, global basic income, then it will completely offset the gap of the generational wealth. Like, the people that are old money will be so much higher than anybody that's even new money, and that means people that are making money rapidly now, it's just going to grow and grow and grow at an exponential rate, that there will be such a divide that you know, we won't feel collectively as capable of achieving that, to where we'll probably band together and be like, nah, the system's broken, you know, we need more, and they don't want that. So I think a global basic income will be introduced at the point.
So
of
is
the
that
future.
there's like a one standard currency, right? Like
no,
a global
no.
currency. Was
global
that?
basic, or it might be general basic income. But what I mean is that our government will have these robots that do the jobs for us. We don't know what to do. We've spent our whole lives doing this job. Now my job's obsolete. You want me to retrain? I'm 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever. You know, like, but I'm not gonna retrain to learn something else. So.
Right.
Rather than just let those people fizzle out and die, they're going to have to supplement them, just like we had it during COVID. People were getting paychecks, you know?
Right.
Like, everybody was happy, but everybody was mad at the same time.
Right.
And that's going to be it until we make it the norm, but who's going to want to, like you said, nobody's going to want to hire an employee when a robot's going to do it all for them.
Exactly.
So, like, if that's the case and we have such an excess amount of people, America's really proud of our stats.
Yeah, sure.
So, like, we might be a first world country, but we have a lot, the most people in prison, we have a huge crime rate and everything. What do you think those stats are going to be whenever people don't have jobs or money coming? You know, it's going to destroy us. And we, as a global image, need to remain, you know, who we are. And the only way to keep people from rioting would be the same thing we did during COVID, which is, I'm sorry you can't go to work right now. Here's some money. Please don't tear us down. You know, and that's what happens. So. Which I'm all for not having to work if a robot will do it for me. If it's better, let me be creative. Save me a lot of stress.
For real,
Please.
right?
Yeah, man. Like, there's so many awesome people out there that are so dedicated to their job because they can't live otherwise. But if they were given the option, they could, you know, caterpillar to butterfly.
Right.
So I hope that, because it is going to happen eventually, but I hope it's a positive change rather than a rioting change.
Right, yeah,
Personally.
definitely.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin, it's going on 10 o'clock now. I think we're going to wrap things up here. Yeah,
yeah, I'm about to go on.
Ready. Come on, yeah. So, shout out, let's see, I guess real quick, shout out where people can find your music at and find your social medias and stuff.
So, I'm on all major streaming platforms. It is Kevolution. That is K and then Evolution after it. It's very simple. I'm primarily on SoundCloud and Spotify, but I'm also on Apple Music, Tidal, you know, the whole 9 yards. But it's Kevolution. My latest single is Breakthrough, and the one before that is Hold Me Close, and it's also a wonderful song. And I hope you all enjoy it. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me on, Mike.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, anytime.
Since you live so close by, you have to come back and do it some more often. We can sit around and bullshit, you know?
Yeah, dude.
Hang out.
I would love that.
Yeah,
all
for
the things
sure.
we're talking about, this is my cup of tea.
Awesome.
So, by all means, I just live 3 minutes from here.
Right.
No
I
problem.
know where you live. I pass by your house every day. I actually didn't realize that's where you live. So.
Yeah, we live pretty close.
Yeah, right.
We live pretty close.
Yeah, you could say neighbors almost.
Yeah. I would say neighbors.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Kevin, you're in the shot first. So you're still in the shot, but it's all good. You're good, homie.
Anyway, thank you guys.
Yeah, you're
so
welcome.
much.
We will see you outside here shortly. Guys, I'm going to be back here in just a little bit. We're going to have another interview with Asher Shashaty, who is headlining here tonight at Live the Shop. We're downtown here in downtown Dunbar at 1233 Ohio Avenue. Doors are open right now. Speakers cranking. DJ Quartz is on stage. And Kevin is coming up right now here at 10 o'clock. So, yeah, thank you for watching. We'll be back here live here soon. I said here twice. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys later. Peace. We are back after a short period. Tonight we've got a very special guest with us. Of course, before we had Kevin Farrer on, but now joining me is the headliner of tonight's show. We've got Asher Shashaty. Asher, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you, Mike. What's
You're welcome.
good?
What's good, buddy? Here, we're gonna pull you up right on the mic
Okay.
like this. Yeah, this
Boom.
is on a what? It's called a Y-axis, right? X-axis. Yeah, Johnny knows. You gotta
Okay.
talk right into it.
Right
Yeah.
into it. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. It took me forever to figure that out, by the
Okay.
way. So. Yeah, welcome, man. Last
you,
time, you're
dude.
welcome. Last time we did this was in Charlotte. And
It
we were up in the
was.
hotel room, and it was set up a little bit differently. So now you're here. You're getting to experience in the full.
Yeah.
You're at the shop. What do you think about the shop?
I love the shop. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, this is the perfect place to possibly play. Like, doing small shows that I want to fill up that are, like, this is perfect for that.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I think it's the perfect venue, and I'm, like, super happy to be here.
Yeah, man,
It's fun.
we're glad to have you. You know, I've
Dude,
been
heck yeah.
anticipating this week for, weeks now, ever since we started talking about it a
Yeah.
couple months ago. And, you know, now we're here. The night is here. I mean, the crowd's out there. It's rolling. There's a bunch of people. They're not rolling. That's a reference some of you may get. So, but
Maybe, though. Who knows?
Maybe they
Who
are. I'm
knows?
not sure. But there's a good crowd out there, and everybody's having a good time. And, yeah, it's going great.
Yeah.
So right now we've got actually not Kevin Farrell. Kevin just got off. We've got Lucas the Flow on stage.
Lucas the Flow.
Yeah. Tell me, why did you choose Lucas the Flow to be here this evening?
Well, I definitely looked up to him back in the day, and I still look up to him now, and I want to, like, it was cool having him come here after like a hiatus that he took,
right,
and like open up for me. And we can perform together, and we're gonna do a little back-to-back at the very, very end.
Right.
And it's gonna be fun. Like, you know, he's just somebody that's like in the same lane. He has a lot of melodics in his tunes, but he makes experimental stuff, and I think that that's something that I could get behind. And I've had a lot of different styles, like open and closed for the tour so far, but yeah. It's dope having him out here, 100%.
Right, so you guys have similar taste in music and similar sounds, and you know, last time that you played in Charleston, was Lucas actually playing?
No.
No?
No, he wasn't. I think, like, the first time I played in Charleston, he was doing a lot of things.
Yeah, right.
And you told me about him, I listened to his music, I was like, oh, that's something I could aspire to. And so he helped push me a bit, which is really cool. And then now having him back here, I think he's from Columbus, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's from Ohio.
Okay. Okay, so somewhere over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, you know, honestly, I don't think that he is from Columbus. I think he just lives there now because he is from this area. I don't know if it's from Kanawha County or like.
Okay, but he's from West Virginia.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
He told me earlier that he had moved to Columbus to basically just meet with like-minded people that are also, you know, making music and wanting to collab, because there's not so many people in Charleston that do it. There's some, obviously, but it's just not the same as, let's say, Columbus, Ohio, or like a bigger city. So
I think having a venue like this could change things like that, though.
Definitely.
It's weird because, like, you said this is like one of the first EDM shows in like 4 years, but it's like doing really good out there right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And people want this stuff. It's fun, and like it's the next level of music outside of what instruments can give you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
You can take electronic stuff further than what natural stuff can give you, and like I think that's like intriguing, and people like want stuff like that. So having it here at such a high level with the sound so on point and everything is really cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, when you talk about the sound, what would you compare, you know, the quality of sound here to? As, I don't know, maybe another venue, or
like I couldn't really even compare. I just don't know good enough.
Right.
I don't know well enough to be like, okay, this venue or that venue. Like, I just think everything is super even and super on point. Even from coming and listening to the jam bands yesterday.
Right.
Like, that was when I heard like everything so leveled out and on point. I was like, okay, that's how it's supposed to sound when you come to something like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, I think they're really setting the bar here for, you know, how it should be when you come out to an event, or to not just a show, but to a show. Fuck, what am I saying? I was going to say an event, I was going to say a festival, but it's to a show, because you know, certainly here in Charleston we've got other, you know, venues you can go to, but they just don't have the quality of you know, of material to work with. They don't have, you know, they've got equipment, but they don't have this equipment. So the sound is very peculiar here. I mean, they've got enough equipment here that could fill up a like a stage for a small music festival.
Yeah.
Because aside, you know, I mentioned that yesterday, like their main gig is a production company where they go, you know, to different, you know, cities and different states. They set up to do different shows, right? So I mean, you can see with the lights out there, and of course all the subs and, you know, everything they've got. It's just it's above grade. It's very, you know, top notch for what it is. So to be able to have this here and to have it in Dunbar, I mean, Dunbar's. It's still sort of a part of Charleston, but it's
I was confused about that.
Right, so
Dunbar's its own place.
Right, yes, it's its own. They call it a city, but it's
right
like a town. Right, so we're like 10 minutes from Charleston, but it's still Charleston essentially. You know. So it's great to have, though, and giving back to the community and giving people a place to come here and have a good time at. And of course, musicians like you to come and share the music that you love and your passion, and get it out there for people.
It's trippy that there hasn't been an EDM show in 4 years, and this is where I'm coming to play.
Yeah.
It's so weird thinking about it like that.
Right.
But like I love doing that because like everybody gets it everywhere no matter what, and it's oversaturated, and people don't appreciate like what's actually going on.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And here people appreciate it, and I've met so many cool people here outside of anywhere else.
Right.
Because everybody is just so down for it.
Yeah.
No matter how it's going and like what the event is like, everybody is down for it and ready to come out and like support and like have a good time.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, honestly, sometimes Charleston's a tough crowd, dude. Sometimes you got to play a few times to, you know, nobody. And, like, once people start hearing that you're good, they come out and they'll support big time.
Yeah.
But it's, like, really, like, putting it out there sometimes. I know it's disheartening for people, no matter who you are, if you play to, like, a crowd of nobody, you know, but you just got to fucking strive, bro.
Yeah.
And the more you do it, the more people see it and they tell their friends, you know, they share the events or, like, share your music, you know, it just grows, as you can see. You know, look what's going on out there tonight. It's a great crowd, and there's a lot of people that are here that are excited to see the music and like get out there and dance. So it's cool.
Yeah, exactly. It would have been easy to on that second one. That was a little bit harder because there was more events going on that same day and stuff. Like, it would have been easy to be like, all right, West Virginia, like, it's a flop, all right? You know what I mean? Screw it. But, like, look, you know what I mean? Here's the third one. We made things happen the way that we wanted to this time. Yeah. And I think it turned out already it has turned out way better. Right. And even if by my set it dies down, I'd still be happy with this. Because, like, I've seen so many people so happy tonight, and that's what's epic. You know what I mean? Like, Lucas is out there spinning right now, and that's just so epic to me. Like, I love that. That's insane. I've been seeing him and Kevin and everybody just have such a great time. I'm like, yo, this is awesome.
Smiles on everybody's faces.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Now, hey, you got to see DJ Quartz perform earlier, right? Yeah. What'd you think about her performance?
It was epic. She kept the vibe perfectly for what it was right there at the beginning. And, like, I would like to see what she likes to do more, where she's just, like, in her absolute element, just, like, killing it. You know what I mean?
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, where she has the time to kind of, like, maybe where she's not the first and she's the second or third, she has a little bit of time to ease into it.
Yeah, because I know she has her own nights, too.
Right,
I've seen her, like, headlining for, like, some house shows and stuff like that. So it would be good to see her do something, like, more. But it's so good to have her out here. Yeah. And, like...
Yeah, not to, like, interrupt you or anything, but it's cool to see a female artist as well, female DJ doing it. And I mean, it's all guys up there on stage, so it's good to see some diversity and, you know, to see a woman out there doing it, because they're few and far between, you know.
No, it is rare, and, like, it's a different look than just, like, which is so shitty, because, like, we're people, you know what I mean? Like, why is that a different look? It shouldn't be that way. But it's because there's less of them, and, like, it's easier to, like, pick those things out. You know, if there's less of them, it's easier to, like, pick those things out and be like, okay, that's something that's, like, unique and odd. Right. You know? But I think that more females should be doing it, and more females should be, like, producing and DJing as well. Right. You know, because it is oversaturated with, like, a bunch of guys. And if, like, guys could be humbled, because, like, a lot of them are the biggest assholes and need to be humbled because their egos are so high. You know what I mean? And if a girl could do it better than them, like, that would be such a good thing for guys to see, because, like, yo, they're, you know, a lot of them are just so dumb with where their ego gets. Right. And even the thought of thinking a girl can't do it better is so egotistical. That's so dumb. You know what I mean? So I think it's good for some girls to show up the guys. Yeah, like, definitely. Moving forward, like, straight up. Right. 100%.
What do you think would be, you know, for somebody starting out in the music industry, or at least in the electronic music industry, because it's so vast that it is, what do you think would be the best advice you could give for someone starting out?
I would say produce music, like, DJ because it's fun, and then, like, produce music because it's hard. You know what I mean? Everything is served up on a silver platter nowadays, and doing something that's hard is something people never try to even, like, start doing. Right. And I think, like, the accomplishment of being able to, like, finish a song start to finish that is musically correct is something that's, like, huge for, like, an ego building thing where you had to kill your ego in order to get to that level. Yeah. And because of that, like, dying to yourself in order to achieve something, the achievement becomes, like, very more tasteful. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it becomes easy for other people to absorb. Right. And it's something that, like, you work for. I also think that, like, you know, just have confidence in yourself. Yeah, DJing or producing, like, all you can. I'm nervous. I'm so nervous right now.
Are you
really?
Like,
yes, of course. But, like, there's nothing you can do about that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, so you gotta just, like, take things on the chin and keep moving forward no matter what. The music industry is so bad. It's so terrible, and, like, just go through it and take everything on the chin. you know, and just keep moving forward no matter what people tell you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because eventually you'll be able to make things happen. And even when everybody told you that you couldn't, it becomes a little bit sweeter then at that point.
Right. So
Yeah.
believe in yourself, have confidence.
Yeah.
You know, and persistency.
Persistency,
Just
yeah.
continuously doing it.
Yeah.
And never giving up, even if, you know, other people tell you, or even if you tell yourself that, like, it isn't
Yeah.
good enough, just keep doing it,
Yeah,
right?
and do the hard things. There's so many things that were on my bucket list. Like, not bucket list, but on my music production list of things I wanted to do. Like, 2 years ago, it was a reach. There's
Right.
no way I was going to do that thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now I have collaborations out with people that I literally was reaching for so hard 2 years ago.
Right.
And now it's people I work with now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not a reach at all anymore. These are people I talk to, and it's epic to think that that happened, and I have no special ability that anybody else doesn't have.
Right.
Like, a lot of people have. Everybody has the ability to do what I did, and it's just persistency.
Right.
Doing it. Keep going, and just, like, don't think that you can't. And when
Yeah.
you think you can't, say screw it. You know what I mean? And just keep going.
Like Chumbawamba said, I get knocked down, but I get up again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just can't keep me down. Bro.
Right, yeah. Never gonna keep me down. That's right. Man, that's wise words to live by too. You know, it's so often in life that we feel like, you know, things aren't good enough or they could be better, and I think it's just normal for us to, like, humans just be like glass half empty sort of thing, always
Yeah.
thinking of what could be better rather
Yeah.
than like what we've got, or like it's just generally what we've got. You
Yeah.
know? So I don't know. Sometimes I've had doubts with this podcast as well. You know,
Yeah.
I've talked to you about it. You're a
Yeah.
close friend of mine, and you know, I'm really open with you about things. And,
Yeah.
you know, sure, it's like still in the infancy, and we're still crawling a little
Yeah.
bit, but we're getting there, and you know, getting a routine. I'm more comfortable on camera than I was when I started a year or so
definitely.
ago.
You've been
and,
killing it, bro. Your
yeah.
editing and everything has been upgrading big time.
Yeah, so maybe I could do some more post production, but it's, you know, like I mentioned earlier, there's a lot that goes into it, and just on top of it, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, maybe eventually get somebody to, you know, like hire, like I got to make
Yeah,
money
to
from
do
it
that
first, of
stuff for
course,
you.
right? But
Yeah.
you know, like anybody else that's doing this, like they sit down and they chop all that up, they produce all that afterwards.
Yeah.
You know, and they add the clips to it and things to make it what it is. You know, not everybody gets it right off the bat, I suppose, but
Yeah.
I don't know. There's plenty of people out there doing it, so you know,
Yeah.
I can watch what they're doing and imitate it. You know,
And it's about like, you know, not selling yourself short.
Yeah.
Doing the things that seem too hard for you.
right?
And just like shooting for it, because like it is a possibility once you take the right steps, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like you just got to keep going and like do the things that seem hard and just reach for them, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Set your goals. Reach for your dreams. Reach for your goals. Yeah. Something like that.
100%.
Right. Yeah, man.
But like even like Mr. Beast brought on Carl, like eventually,
Yeah.
and Carl started doing all the editing for him. You know what I
Really?
mean?
Okay.
Like eventually, once things get going, like you would definitely want somebody doing all
Like
that
somebody will
for
come out of
you.
the woodwork and be like, "Hey, like I'm
Yeah.
good at doing this, and I'd like to help out."
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Especially if they can bring in more of an audience just because of their editing.
Editing skills, right? Yeah. Because you know, it's like you want to have something that's like edited well, at least to keep people's attention and keep them entertained, at least.
Yeah,
You know.
even like editing is really like not the entertainment part. I think it's like more for like a flow. But if it becomes the entertainment part of it,
Of course.
then all of a sudden that's an extra element that's just on top of what is already like flowing with your conversation
Right.
or whatever on the podcast.
Yeah, kind of like, you know, we were watching Barstool Sports interview last night with that what's that
Yeah.
Presley guy?
Yeah,
I can't think
yeah.
of his first name. Man.
Caleb, I think.
Caleb Presley, that's
yeah.
correct. Yeah, he's got a killer mustache, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, dude. That thing flows, bro.
Right. And he was interviewing Kevin Gates, and man, that interview it was slightly staged there because they had some guy that came in and did like a bit in between them, wasn't it?
Yeah, but the whole thing is that Kevin Gates' manager told him that it was a very serious interview.
Oh,
like,
I
take
see.
it seriously.
Oh, right,
like,
right, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he went in there
he
trying
was-
to take it serious, and then like by the end he was just losing his mind laughing because he was like, "Bro, they tricked me."
Right, it's
They
far from
tricked
being
me.
serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was really interesting. However, it was very cut up and produced, you know.
Yeah.
It was very like lots of cuts back and forth sort of thing, and I guess that, you know, makes for something you could chop up and then have
Yeah.
like a short, you know, wave content for it that you could pump out there, and then maybe show the whole interview later on like somewhere else, maybe,
Yeah.
or not, but. you know, it's things are a lot different now, and it's there's a lot of different things to try and sort of experiment with to you know, try to keep this ball rolling.
It is. It's so different.
Yeah.
And like, yo, it's crazy that like it's like you want to spit out 7-second videos
Right.
to like stay popular on social media. It's like, yo, this is the mind, like this is the minds we're working with now.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's people are, you know, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like people are working faster pace and
Right.
like,
We pull that up on you a little
but
bit.
people don't 100% understand, like, you know, longevity at this point to anything, even
Right.
a long comedy joke. Some comedy jokes last, you know, freaking 5 minutes before they get to the punch.
Right.
People won't understand the punch anymore.
Right.
About a 5-minute joke.
They
you know
can't
what I
pay
mean?
attention for longer than 30 seconds as it is.
Exactly.
There's a joke I'm thinking of, and it's called, man, it's called, is it the diplomats? It's the bureaucrats? It could be told in like different ways, but ultimately at the end, there's like the punchline always remains the same, and it's really, really dirty. I'll have to find it for you, then I'll like show it for you. Yeah, I couldn't say it because I can't think of it off my head, but I don't know where I'm getting with this. Something about jokes.
Yeah.
Oh well. Anyways.
No, just the attention span.
Oh yeah, the attention span. Yeah, jokes being long. That's what I was gonna say. Because this is like a, easily like a 4 or 5 minute joke to have to explain everything, and it's really it's a story that's being told, and you've got to pay attention to the story so that when it comes down to the punchline at the end, that you fully understand
funny,
it. Right? Because it's absolutely horrible at the end. But you know, things that are taboo are generally the most funny things that you can laugh and joke about, because you shouldn't laugh and joke about them.
Have you heard Taboo? Do you know Taboo and his music?
No. Oh, that joke's called The Aristocrats, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to show me later.
Okay.
We're probably gonna forget because you know how we are.
I might
but then
remember.
we'll figure it out. We'll remember at some point.
Who is Taboo? Tell me about Taboo.
Taboo is like a he's a producer that I look up to. He's worked with Mizdom, that guy on What I Need, that song What I Need that I made and put out with Strung Along.
Okay.
So, he does a podcast and he's really funny. It's funny his name is Taboo because he is taboo. You know what I mean? He's funny in that way. He's had Liquid Stranger on. You know Liquid Stranger,
I
right?
know who Liquid Stranger is.
And he's like, yo, so you have time for bass, but do you have time for our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?
That's cool.
And then Liquid Stranger talked about like having, you know, his bass music is like, you know, it's a ministry. Like, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about music being like a ministry like that?
How do I feel about music being a ministry? I don't know. I guess when it comes down to it, it's like, I don't know, ministry. When you start something and you start like a sort of group or a collective, almost similar like you've done with the Tribe of Asher, then you could, in a way, with your fans and the people that support you, consider it to be almost like a ministry.
Yeah, it's like gets cultish.
Cultish.
Yeah, no, I love that. The thing is, I love that cult vibe. The vibe is cool. It's esoteric, and it's like something that, like, yo, back in the day, like that shit is just really cool.
Yeah.
Lucas is ripping it right now.
Yeah, he is. It's going hard as fuck out there.
So, but I can see how the Tribe is like that a little bit, but not really yet. You know what I mean? It's not cultish yet, but like, you know, I think it is weird. Like, you know, music is music. You know, I don't think it's a spirituality. You know, and I think people get that a little bit wrong. Is they like dive into music as if it's like a spiritual thing to hold on to. Like, like, you know, religion is a thing because like it has root in things that can hold you down. You know what I mean? I think so. No matter what religion it is, like that's why they've been around for so long in so many different cultures, is because it really holds people down on a level that nothing else can. Yeah. I think music is one of those things that can't do it like that. Yeah. It's not a religion. You know what I mean? It's like something we listen to that like helps us cope a lot of times. You know what I mean? But that's just like a weird thing to me that I've thought about a lot. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, you know, like music can certainly, I've said this with people before on the podcast, music can make you feel different ways, whether it's like you play, you know, something relaxing or something upbeat, of course, or electronic music make you dance, or fuck, you want to play some metal to get you angry, like you want to play, Rage Against the Machine isn't metal, but like you want to go like all full anarchist and go like tear some shit up, like listen to Rage Against the Machine, man.
So if it can turn your mood like that, like
yes, it can.
It could be like, you know what I mean? but also like, you know, physical drugs like alter your mood in that sense as well. Like,
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of things that do that.
Yeah, you think that you could get a dopamine release by listening to a certain frequency or a certain sound? Yeah.
Yeah, there's certain frequencies that like are meant to do certain things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is that almost like when you get cold chills by hearing yourself play? Like, have you ever heard a musician say like they give
hard to
themselves
do
cold
that.
chills when they play?
It's hard to do that.
I've
though,
done that,
yeah.
not to boast or anything, but I've done that when I sing before, and I never tell anybody like
Yeah,
that
in
I
the
can
shower.
sing, but like I can sing now. Like, I can sing, bro. That's
Yeah.
that's why I practiced all throughout school. I didn't
Yeah.
do band. I didn't learn to play guitar or any instrument.
gotta get you on
but
the
I can
mic,
sing.
bro.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so it's like I know that feeling of being able to give yourself a cold chill, but it's almost
Yeah.
made me wonder. It's like, is that like some sort of dopamine release, or just like a click in your brain when
Or
something's
maybe
going
it's hitting
on?
you're hitting the perfect frequencies. Everything is lining up to where it just like lines up with the your body's frequency level.
Right.
And, like everything just hits right to where
Yeah.
it resonates there, and then it
Resonating,
just fucking
right.
you feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's very interesting. It's stuff beyond sometimes my comprehension.
Yeah, I think
certainly.
all those things are beyond any human comprehension. Like
Yeah.
no matter how smart somebody is, you can only like think of like we can only like even think about the alternate dimensions and realities to the extent that we think and understand in our human minds.
Yeah.
So if we can't understand over what is happening, then like we are thinking under what is happening. We can't even like really put together the dots because
Right.
we're way like behind on it, or you know what I'm saying?
Right. It's like imagine a fish, okay? Sure, so maybe somebody's told you this before, but like a fish, and a fish is in a fish bowl, okay? The fish bowl serves as its home, and like that's the only thing that the fish knows. It's like it doesn't know anything else.
Yeah.
Maybe it does. Just see your finger run by, but it generally like it doesn't know about the outside world. So
Yeah.
it's like if we're similarly like a fish in a fish bowl, although we're humans on Earth and we
Yeah.
really can't leave Earth.
Yeah.
We can, but we can't. You know what I mean? So like there's a higher understanding that we can't comprehend, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, and man, we can go down deep, like hole right through there and talk about all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff, but we'll save that for another time. But it's
Yeah.
it's just
We
very
could dive
interesting.
deep, like
right.
yeah, we could go 3 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Eventually.
So I don't know, man. It's always great talking with you. I
No,
know we were
dude,
going
it
to do this
always
a little
is.
bit short, but there's a couple more things I want to ask you.
Yeah, what's good?
We've got like about 7 more minutes till it's
Okay.
12, though. But you know, you've got some new music that you've been releasing recently. You
Yeah.
released what's the one with the tree on it? Here we go. I should know this. I'm doing a
Urban
bad job.
Forest,
Urban
yeah.
Forest. There
Yeah,
you go. So
that
that
one's been
came
doing
out.
really good.
Was that last week or 2 weeks ago?
That was a month ago.
A month-
A month
damn.
ago from today.
Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
and then
Time flies.
2 weeks ago was What I Need with Mizdom.
Right.
Urban Forest was with Miyoki and Rescue.
Okay.
Rescue was the producer on it. He's from Germany. He's super dope. Extremely talented. And then same with Strung Along. He's like a trap producer, makes like a lot of very unique trap stuff. And we made stuff before, and Mizdom got on that, the vocalist.
That's cool.
And then the one that came out after that last week was Feeling with Danny
Right,
King.
with Danny
and then
King.
and then a week from now is the album that's coming out, Astral Spring, and those 3 songs are on there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now, how long you been working on Astral Spring?
You know, technically like, you know, a year and a half
Really?
with some of the songs that are on there. Like even Urban Forest was produced like 2 years ago. 2 years ago, maybe even longer ago.
Yeah, I feel like
So-
it's the first time that I heard that.
That was a
pro-
long
yeah, it's been a
time
while.
ago.
Yeah.
It's been a really long time. So, like, technically a long time. But I knew I wanted to do the album. Like, when was the North Carolina trip last time?
May of last year,
After
2022.
after that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do an album because like things aren't what I think they are.
Right.
I'm not DJing huge shows the way I want to be. I'm not, and like there's a level of acceptance that goes on with that isn't unhealthy. Some people thinking like, except no, like I thought I wanted to do these things. My
Right.
life isn't lining up that way.
Right.
That isn't something I have to fight. That's something I got to accept. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But that doesn't mean I'm not going to do everything I can to do what I want in music still. I'm still
Right.
going to work my ass off to do what I want in music. But that doesn't mean it's always going to line up how I had it in my head when I started this when I was 17, 18 years old.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because things change so much.
Definitely.
And like it just doesn't make sense that way anymore.
Right.
You know? So like being able to accept change is another thing I say for other producers that are starting and DJs that are starting, being able to like accept what life is and just flowing. You know what I mean? Because there's too much of fighting that happened with me that like put me in bad areas in my life, anxiety, depression, for no reason, all because I'm putting myself in those areas. You know what I mean?
We're our own worst enemy, you know.
Yeah.
We are, and it's, you know, sometimes it happens. It's normal to be upset and things, but eventually it's like you get to that point and you're like, man, I gotta drag myself up out of this. It's like I gotta get back in the flow of things, you know. It's like certainly it's, man, like for the winter, for me, it's personally, you know, I work real hard during like the last, you know, few months of the year with my business, and then at the beginning of the year I usually take off and relax a little bit because I've worked so much and put in just hours upon hours, and I don't know, then I get out of the flow, I get out of the mix, and then I start getting like, well, I get lazy, and then I'm uninspired, you know, and then it's about, you know, February, mid-February, where I start wanting to like work again, get back in the flow of things, you know. Yeah, it can be hard, but it's
it's the only time that those things happen, though. And then, like, it's also about, like, knowing that those things are going to come and doing what you can while that creative flow and that workflow is hitting hard.
Exactly,
Go in on it, because you know those times where you're not going to be going hard, it's going to happen.
Right.
For sure. You just got to, like, work hard while you are maintaining that vibe.
Right.
Because the down vibe always comes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then just, like, working through it, like, helps you, like, get through it quicker, but it always happens no matter what.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think people fight that and see that time period as something that's so bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think thinking of it that way is gonna put you in a bad spot in the first place. So like, you know, thinking about things in shifting perspective.
Yeah,
you know
definitely.
what I mean? And like understanding that those off periods of time are actually like beneficial for your mental health anyways.
Right, yeah.
So that you can fully take advantage of those times rather than like, you know,
dwell on them because it wasn't,
thinking you're not doing enough at that time. Yeah.
Man, that hits hard because it's, yeah, that's sometimes how I feel, but then I get, you know, like I have a lot more energy in the evenings than I do generally in the mornings.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's, I get more shit done in the evenings. I can do stuff around the house, no problem. But, you know, Crystal was winding down in the evening. She's a morning bird, right? Yeah, she's the early bird. She gets the worm in the morning, takes care of everything she has to, So it's conflicting, and I want to be able to spend time with her, but also, like, take care of what I need to do. But then I feel bad because, like, I know I'm not at least like conforming to the idea of like a 9 to 5 or 8 to 4, you know, however.
But you still want to hit that in some type of way,
right?
Because you feel obligated. No, definitely. I feel you. No, it makes sense, but also you got to work with your schedule, but not letting what you think your schedule is be an excuse to not be on point. You know what I mean? Because like there's people that are super on point that probably weren't made to be that way. Yeah. But they go in correctly because like they just train their mind to just hit that shit.
Yeah, certainly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all about discipline too.
Yeah.
You know, and how bad you want something, you want to make shit happen. So, yeah. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Dude, I'm excited for you to get to Florida, though, too, bro.
Yeah, man,
that's
be
going to
cool.
be so dope.
Yeah. So let's talk about next week. You've got a show in Orlando. Where's that going to be at? That's
going to be at this spot called The Spot.
The Spot.
Yeah, The Spot in Orlando.
So you're at the shop this weekend. Next weekend you'll be at the Spot. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. It's funny.
That's cool. And that's also part of the Astral Springs tour as well.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, cool. Do you have any other dates lined up after that?
Chicago at the Forge.
When is that?
That's going to be sometime in March.
Okay.
And then probably April for Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Crazy ATL. And then maybe Wisconsin. Yeah. Maybe Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
But, you know, everything else is up in the air. Mm-hmm. But I'm excited about what I've done already. Like, you know, I love seeing you guys. I love seeing everybody in North Carolina. Everybody there was awesome, too. Like, do you remember Tom? Do you remember Tom? The Asian dude that was there, and I passed him my shirt. Bro.
I remember Tom.
He was there again. I saw him. I was like, Tom! Yo, I was literally so happy to see Tom.
Wow, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and so like even like seeing him and Lindsay and Steven, the other Steven, and like yo, everybody, it was just so epic. So like. No, both of these shows already, it's been enough. But that Orlando one, I think it's going to be dope, too. I think it's going to be like a crowd like this.
Nice.
You know, probably like, you know, 25 to who even knows how many.
Right.
We'll see.
Nice. Know? Okay, are you familiar with that place? Have you played there before?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see what's good.
All right, cool.
Up. Yeah.
Let's see, you got any plans for this summertime? Aside from, you know, the rest of the spring going on, or the tour going on through spring?
just up collabing, working with people that are way bigger than me. Like, I know where I'm at and I know where I need to be and I know who I want to work with, and I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna work with these people and we're gonna make epic tracks together, and I'm gonna get bigger and better vocalists all the time and just keep going and keep going and keep going. And I think that, like, I want to slow down, you know, like working with all these vocalists last time, it taught me that, like, I need to be more purposeful about my music. And I want to write tracks for vocalists, and I want to bring the best out of them, the best I can, and like work with people the best I can. I'm a team player. Like, production without vocals and on my own all the time, it's not the funnest all the time. And I want to have a good time all the time. So I think something now for me is collaborating with other people and just keep going. I'm so blessed that I was able to work with Miyoki, Mizdom, and Danny King. Like, that's insane to me. You know, like, that alone is just nuts. So I just feel blessed, and I'm ready to just keep going and just work with more people and just keep going. Yeah.
Now, kind of last question for you. If you had the opportunity to pick who, like, whatever artist or whoever artist that you could to collab with, or even to like play a fucking set with or a show with, name two, not just one. Pick two that you would, and why.
Oh, it would definitely be Flume.
Flume, okay.
Yes, because I've just aspired to be so much like him in my music. He does whatever he wants. That's what I want to be able to do. You know, and tonight I'm conforming a bit. You know, my set conforms, and I'm okay with that. I'm excited. It's super fun. But like, yo, now I'm nervous. Woo!
Ooh, here, let me air it off of you here a little bit.
Okay. That's what I'm used to, bro.
Gotta cool it down. So.
Yeah. So, but no, I'm super excited.
Nice. And Flume, who else would you pick?
Flume and maybe Nightmare. Nightmare, because I met him one time, and like, I've always looked up to him since. You know what I mean? And ever since then, he's been someone I looked up to a lot. Even though he's not necessarily my genre match like that. I've always really like aspired to be like him. You know? And I like the way he carries himself in EDM, and it's cool.
All right. So I know who Flume is, but I've never heard of Nightmare. So
Grizz as well, you know? But like, Grizz to me is on a different level that, like, you know, I know Flume is learning instruments now. Grizz is just a G off. He's just on a different thing musically. That, like, I can't even think to put him on that list of, like, yo, you know what I mean? Because it's just different.
Dude, we gotta get you hooked up with Grizz so you can you can play. You can do one of his space camps or Grizz camps or whatever he calls it.
It'll happen one day.
Open up.
I'll talk to him one day. I know one day we'll eventually link up and make something happen.
I bet Larry can make it happen. He knows all kinds of people.
Okay, that'd be epic.
Maybe.
One day.
No promises though.
When the time is right, it'll happen. You know what I mean? That's what I've realized. Forcing anything is never the go-to, but things do happen when the time is right and when you put yourself in the right mindset. You know what I mean? The mindset is a big part of making things happen, actually. I don't think it's manifesting. It's working hard enough and then making yourself available.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
You got to put in the work to make things happen, because nothing good comes easy, of course. But you've got to put yourself out there in order to see these things prosper and to get ahead on them. So. What time are we looking like?
12:05.
Nice. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and wrap things up then. Why don't you go ahead and tell the watchers, the listeners, where they can find your music at?
Okay. Just look up Asher Shashaty. ASHER again TY. Asher Shashaty. Anywhere, and you'll be able to find me on any platform that you want to listen to. Spotify, iTunes, anything. And yeah, enjoy. Everything is gonna keep upgrading. I'm never gonna stop upgrading, and I think that's something that's important, and like, I won't get stagnant, you know. And I'm gonna keep making sure that I'm doing everything I can for you guys.
Hey, man.
Yep.
Well, that's really kind words there, and I hope the people that are watching encourages them to come down and, or at least if they're not here already, come and check out your music. Come check out your music. Find you on Spotify. Find you on iTunes. Look up everything, and check it out.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it does sound like
Thank
an
you,
idiot.
Mike.
You're welcome, buddy. I'm glad to have you on here.
Thank you, bro.
Of course, thank you all for watching. If you like what you're watching, make sure to give this a like. Share it with your friends. Share it with your fam. You can find me on Instagram at Mike Grassroots. You can find this on Spotify. You can't find it on Spotify yet. You can find it on YouTube and on Rumble at the Grassroots 304 Pod, and all the rest of the episodes on there. And yeah, I think that's it. About it.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Of course, shout out to Sacred AV Solutions and live at the shop here at 1233 Ohio Avenue in Dunbar. We've got great music down here weekly, so make sure you go find them on Facebook and check out and see what's going on coming up soon here next week as well. Oh, tomorrow night we've got the Kind Thieves. They're going to be here. They're out of Fayetteville, West Virginia. They're Appalachian Jamgrass, and they're going to put on a hell of a good time. So make sure to bring your stomping shoes, dancing shoes, not stomping shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you all for
Stomping
watching,
shoes.
and yeah, we'll see you next time, right?
Woo, yeah.
Yeah, right on. Thanks, buddy.
Peace. Heck yeah.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, thank you so much.
Of course, dude.